Hi everybody, I'm Muffle, I'm the CEO of Shockwaves. We are presenting our game just next off, so don't hesitate to come and see us to try the game. But just now we are not going to speak about the games, but more about NFTs in general in the gaming field to see what is the potential, what is done and what is not done, what we could do with the technology in the future, and what is the story of digital assets in gaming. So um, maybe you have already seen the meme of the icebergs, where we are going to see at the surface what is visible actually in the blockchain technology. And after we are going to go deeper in the hidden part where things that are not necessarily visible for the public will arrive. Okay, so let's go for the iceberg of NFTs in gaming. So at the beginning, game was on physical support. So it means that once you have buy it, you own it, and you can do what you want with that. There was a limited collection, there was a lot of things that completely changed. But the biggest problem was that when you had a bug or anything, the game cannot evolve. So you was trapped forever with the actual copy you had. So everything changed when Steam arrived and the game became digital. And at this point, everything was possible. You didn't have a fixed version of the game, so it means that you can have update, you can have DLC, you have to pay for them, you have a lot of things that arrive with evolutive gaming, and of course a lot of way to monetize it. So for example, you have the war token, which is actually a digital currency, not on blockchain, but that gives you some time to play. Or you have a marketplace like the one you have on Counter-Strike, where you can have assets that you have to buy directly. And well, it was the good part, but the bad part was that once you buy a game, the developers can still change it, change the rule after you bought it. And there was a lot of scandals recently, like with Helldiver that requires suddenly to have a different account to play, or in this game where the developers changed the graffiti on the wall because there was some controversy about the meaning of them. And in each of these cases, players get really mad because they bought a game, they like how it was, and it changed. So actually, there is like a crisis in the video game industry because people have really the feeling that they don't own what they are buying for, and you have what we could call pay-to-win models arriving. And we can see that there is more and more hungriness and a deep that is digging deeper and deeper between developers and players because of all of these mechanics. So actually, it's one of the so to resolve that, some players, for example, Vitalik, who was a World of Warcraft player at the age, that get really frustrated because there was an update on the Wizard Warlocks spells. Thought, okay, it's not acceptable that I own a game, I bought it, and it changed. We need something that is more secure, more decentralized, where the developers would have less control somehow on the game, and it's this reflection that lead to the creation of Ethereum at the age. So, which Ethereum lead us actually to NFTs. So we are going to see what's the Ethereum and NFTs created actually. So when you think about NFTs in gaming, what you have actually are something like profile picture, items, skin, lens, like with Sandbox. It take many forms, but we can assemble all of this under what we could call on-chain in-game assets, which are somehow not so different from the previous things we have, where people can update it, and it leads to some business model where you have some pay to win. And it's great because it's on-chain, but somehow it's not so different from what we had before, which explain a little bit where we are, why we have Web2 players hungry against Web3. Because actually for them, it's just the same thing they had before, but even more expensive. So maybe if we want to resolve the equation between Web2, Web3, and developers, we have to go deeper in the technology and see what it can really bring, more than just what we had before, but with more speculations, which lead us to the iceberg of NFTs in gaming. So, as you can see, there is a lot of things that are arriving, technology that are just seen, that have the potential to change absolutely everything, and which have not been explored so far. And all this stuff can change the NFT world, the gaming world, the company world, the relation between the copywriters, the people, and the communities. So let's start to go deeper under the surface. So first, as we said in the beginning, there was retail, there was physical collection, and these things give some value to game. And all of that, when we come to the digital games with Steam, we have lost it. We have lost the pleasure to own, we have lost the idea of collection, because actually if you buy a game, well, you can have everything in it. You can't have a different version of, for example, Helldiver, and depending on which version you have, you make a choice. So NFTs is the first things are going to bring back the idea of collection and of retail. Steam completely destroyed the secondary market of games. So you don't, when you buy a game, you don't think that you can give it to somebody else or things like that, which changed really a lot the way we are thinking games. Because before, when you was developing a game, you think, okay, my game will have multiple lives, and I need people to want to keep it, because if they sold it after they have played, it's a copy I will not sell myself. So you have to think the game in a different way before the digitalization that NFTs could bring back. And mostly the idea of limited edition, which is something really important, because before, when we have a physical support, game by themselves, the product has somehow like a value by itself. Actually, this is one of our NFT collection, and the game is directly integrated into the NFT, into OpenSea. Which is a use of the technology that is just emerging. But what does it mean? It means that in the future, you will be able to have a full game into an NFT. And if you want to just start it or play it, you will need to be the owner of this NFTs. So now, once you introduce the idea of limited edition again into video game, you create rarity, you create need, and it's where we come back to art as it's used in the general way. The fact that you are able to buy it and that it's limited will make video game arrive in the classical art market. And for us, it's something that is really valuable for what we do. You know, there is always a lot of person speaking about what they call the indie apocalypse, which means that there will be more and more and more and more games, and somehow the value of games could decrease with time. Well, we have a technology that will be able to balance that by giving more value to each copy individually. So this is the first layer of our NFT iceberg. If we go deeper, we can see that something that NFTs are encouraging is, once you have a limited collection, you can have more limited collection by making everything unique. And it's where the idea of procedural AIs will change completely the video game. Because imagine, with the technology we have and the way we are making NFT, you know, everybody wants that NFT are completely unique. So we could go to a world where every copy of a game will be unique. Nobody will have the same experience. So if you want to have a new experience or a new maps or anything new, you will need to sell your NFT or to buy another one, which will change absolutely which could change everything in the way we are creating content. Second thing is, so we have procedural content to create uniqueness, but we have to the gameplay itself that can transform the NFT you have, depending on your choice and the way you are creating the game. And even if all the NFTs will be the same at the beginning, the way you're gonna play it will make them unique, which will maybe push the player to play in a way that where they will anticipate the change they are going to create to make something special that they will be able to transfer to someone else. So it can change the way we are building NFTs and games, and it could change the way players are investigating themselves into the game. Which will mean that you will have an infinity version of games and nobody would have the same experience until they share it, which is just completely an aberration somehow with the current state of the gaming market, where everybody experiments absolutely the same things. Let's go again deeper. So NFTs and blockchain in general have something that is really cruel for developers, but for gamers too, is the fact that your code is executed on the blockchain. So even you, the developers, you can't change it. So you can integrate it somehow into the gameplay itself and create a mechanism that have a completely different meaning into when you integrate it into blockchain tokenomics. For example, you can imagine a battle royale where everybody you sell, I don't know, 300 characters, they will fight together, and every time one of them die, the NFT is destroyed, which means that at the end you will have just one, and somehow the life of the game will be over. You know, today games are like eternal until the developers want to maintain the server alive, but you don't have, in general, for a studio, a business model that is healthy, where the game is like an experience with a limited time. And we know that today, people are searching for different way to play, different experience that are more intense, and creating moments that will be somehow unique through the blockchain could be really a game changing, and it could make the video game go from something that is like eternal and repeatable every time at something you have to value and cherish, because somehow it's a moment and it will never repeat. It will never repeat itself, even if the developers would like to. Let's go encore again deeper. Yeah. So we are going out of the part of the gameplay itself, but to speak more about how the game are created. So actually, most of the popular content evolve around what we could call a big copyright universe that are in general created by one person. But even okay. Even if actually these big licenses that are dominating the cultural world are made by one person or one company, well, most of their value today come from the implication of the community that will create a lot of content. I'm absolutely sure that most of the things you have seen around Harry Potter, Star Wars, or Nintendo games are not created by this company. It's created by the communities. But it's a system that has his limit, and even when creators are really great and bring a lot of value to the license, well, they can have fire back and have some problem, even if they are the one who create the value. So we have things that are going to change in the creative license world, where we see emerging what we could call community license, like for example what we call the backroom or the SCP. It's a shared universe where nobody really on it, and everybody can create a game, a book, or a movie on the base of this. But the problem is, if you don't have money coming somehow, these things will never be really able to emerge. And with decentralization, we can imagine a world where this this community will have somehow a token that they can share between them and create a collective value that will give them the possibility to bring the project even further with some form of business model. Yeah, decentralization could really bring a lot of cool things around that. And remember, the hungriness about the players from the studio in general come from this lack of control on the licenses, as we said at the beginning for Helldiver or Star Artstella. Well, people want to invest themselves into things that they can control in terms of community and not just in terms of what the developer wants. I'm sorry. Okay, so it's going to be good. So the final things, when we come for this licensing, actually what we are seeing in the video game world is a centralization. You have big actors becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. And recently we had a lot of studios that have been closed, not because they wasn't creating cool game, but just because what they was doing was not fitting in the catalog of the big owner. So the process of decentralization from community copyright and all this mechanism could bring another balance where people collectively will be able to generate more value than the big one, which should be to the benefits of the players. Just to finish on that, as you have seen, blockchain and NFT could bring a big revolution in the way of how the gaming company are managed by bringing the community more in the center of them. And this change could have a huge impact on all the cultural world, because actually video game is the locomotive that is driving everything further. And if company in video game change, you can expect that all the other field of the cultural world will evolve to adapt. So it's how we can expect blockchain and NFT to change, not just the blockchain, but all the gaming and the cultural world in general. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.